Actually, it's funny. This is by far the most that I've probably spoken since Thanksgiving.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, really. So it's it's a good source of venting. Let me know if there is anything that I would adjust aside from my retarded accent. Sorry, Boston.
Paranoid about the Boston accent.
Just is. I don't know. A lot of people say that they like it.
People who aren't from here like it.
Yeah, when I used to live in Florida, people always said that, "Oh, we can't stop listening to you." But
see, that's where you want it. Is like places that are kind of far away because you become like the unicorn. Like
but I mean, because Ben Affleck movies and shit, like they've it's kind of become like a kitsch comedy.
It's a cartoon
thing. Yeah, it's
let's go to the fucking bar, fuck up some smart kids. You know, like I feel like when Affleck and Damon do it, they like not
go Celts. Yeah,
like not Damon so much, but they almost don't remember how to do it anymore, so they do it over the top.
Yeah,
they almost do their start. Like
yeah, right.
We don't talk like that.
No, it was real genuine. Like back in the Good Will Hunting days, I was like, wow, I can relate, man. Yeah, everybody I know sounds like that.
They were still like 21 years old, like they were still from Boston at that point.
Basically, yeah. So anyway, where are we?
So you just finished the intro from Payback with Mel Gibson.
Right. Chew and Screw, Hilltop. Hilltop. Real tempted to fucking shoulder one of them cows on the way, and I figured that would be over the top.
You just got that stealing bug in you. You just want to go crazy now.
Those things are around. I think they sold them. I think they auctioned those fucking things off. And anybody that grew up on in the big toe of the North Shore, like from East Boston to Saugus.
Yeah.
I mean, Route 1 is where you did everything, all your Christmas shopping.
Was Bizzetecky Steakhouse on Route 1?
Yeah, it was.
They took me there for graduation or first communion.
The beginning of right before Route 1 starts. It's like right outside the Rotary there. I think there was like a hotel.
Was it
upstairs or next to it?
Was it called Hilltop Steakhouse?
There you go. That's it, man. Yeah. That's it. There's another one in Braintree, but that's the one. That's the classic. Yep. Frank Giuffrida. Fucking place was legendary, man.
Customers have beef with news that Hilltop Steakhouse was closing down.
Yeah, that was.
Now that's a clever.
I know. It was
2013.
Depressing.
Anyway.
It was sad. It was sad. That thing. Look at the cows, man. Come on, when you're a little kid and you're sitting in that fucking inside the glass there, that hallway, and you're standing in there for like 45 minutes, police recover cows stolen from Hilltop. See, I told you that was a thing, hilarious. Man. I wanted to steal one, but I figured I had already, I was kind of had to prioritize.
You don't want to rack it up,
No, I had priorities.
Wow.
But yeah, there he is. It's Frank.
Wow. Anyway.
But yeah, when you're standing in that corridor and you're waiting like you're a little kid and you're just like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
4 for Dodge City, 8 for Kansas City.
Yeah.
And you're like, fucking please. So, God, how tacky were we? Like dinner and a movie. Like, take your girl to the Hilltop, throw a fucking slab of beef down her throat and, go see fucking Steven Spielberg.
Doesn't sound like a bad night, E.T. Man.
Yeah, prime rib and like John Waters flick or something. Classic.
We could do that tonight. We got Applebee's at the end of my street. Hit Applebee's, chill with the locals, get some shitty food.
I know, you got the theater.
And go see Han Solo movie.
God, that was
see Avengers for the third time.
I loved when I lived there, man. I loved when I was staying here because a lot of time, like you'd be at school, you guys would be at school, your mom would be working or off at the gym pumping iron or whatever, and I'd be here by myself. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And I'd just walk over to the movie theater.
Yeah.
In fact, that was one of my most memorable experiences, Fight Club.
Yeah.
I went to see Fight Club.
Yeah.
Like the first showing of Fight Club, midnight, I went there to see it, and I loved it so much.
Dude, that's so funny.
I went back to see it the first showing of the next morning. Mm-hmm. I saw it again.
Dude, you were doing, like in your 20s when you lived here, walking over to the theater, that's what Andy and I were doing when we were 12, 13.
Right.
We'd meet up here on our bikes, and then we'd either walk over to the movies or whatever. Like,
I know you guys had a theater.
yeah,
cool.
you can see the lights from the showcase from my bedroom window over there as a kid.
All we had was a park with like a broken slide, some fucking glass and dog shit to play with. You know, you guys had a movie theater.
Hell yeah, man.
So anyway, okay, back to our tale.
So
yeah,
now,
chew and screw the hilltop. Back to
the only thing left was to get a tank of gas.
Tank of gas. So, you know, we considered doing the survey thing again, but like that's all the way to Watertown, which is, you know, a trek across the city, and it really didn't pay enough to get us, you know, 150 miles north. That was just about what it was to Maine. So, I come up with, you know, a plan. If only we had a credit card. Well, you know, both of us did, but you know, they were older. They were no good anymore. But came up with the idea. You know, there aren't many places like this around, but some of those, you know, like more mom and pop's gas stations where, you know, they pump the gas for you.
Yeah.
If you get a place where the pumps, you know, are out like in an island, and wherever the attendant has to go to run the credit card.
I was gonna say, if you hand them any old credit card, they gotta walk away for a minute.
They gotta walk away.
Now, do they do it after they take the pump out of the?
This place did.
Okay, I was gonna say, because I've had them ask for the credit card while they're pumping.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But
now again, what they do. That's why a lot of places now do that fucking pain in the ass. If anybody's ever had low money or used a debit card, you go to get some gas, and then you go to, like, you know, take your girl to the movie after and realize, what the fuck, you know, my money's gone. I've only got, you know, I had $300 here, now there's like 12. They'll do that pre-authorization for like up to, you know, they can do it up to like a couple of $100, just like a hotel would do.
Yeah.
You know, they do a pre-authorization just in case you do any damage to the hotel.
Oh, and you fuck off.
Right.
Yeah.
In case that happens, like you're pumping gas.
It's like a security deposit, you know, like.
Exactly. And, you know, say you got an 18-wheel or one of those big Ford F-350s with dual gas tanks. And, you know, you get up to like over $100 in gas. They want to make sure that they're going to get their money. The thing is, you don't get your cash back for a couple of days. And I've had the misfortune to learn that shit the hard way.
But it doesn't quite matter when you're using a credit card that doesn't work anymore.
Fucking credit card that's already banged out. Unfortunately, in this case, it happened to be hers. You know, her name and info was on it. But what we were doing, that was the least of our worries. I mean,
that's true.
If this worked, we were going to be 2 states away.
You guys had already dug a hole anyway. What worse would it be? Like,
you know, so yeah, that way. Well, she knew of one place. It was in just the right proximity to the highway, to just where like Route 1 and 1, you know, 95, when 120 becomes 95, which is where you're gonna get on to go to Maine, right where they meet. So it's like literally like a mile run from that gas station to the highway, and you're gone. You're on 95. You're out.
You're heading up north.
And she said this place was really busy because the gas rates were like cheap. You know, it was a mom and pop's place, and
everyone was hitting that
being
place.
Saugus, who knows? Like the owners probably fucking gambled with the you know, the gas company and won half of their shit playing golf or something, and whatever. The gas pretty cheap, and it was really busy. So what they would do in a lot of instances, they would have pump the gas and then have you pull off and wait. You know, while they'd pump the next car or two, and then go in to run the credit card.
Yeah, that's just.
So they pumped the gas. All right, just pull over there. We'll go.
Yeah, we'll get to you.
And we were fucking out, man. I mean, we were gone. We were long gone. Full tank of gas, and we're like, "That's it. We're there. We know we're there.
Yeah,
you know, we're getting there. Like we you know, unless any unforeseen, you know. I mean, of course, we're gonna drive absolutely perfectly careful. You know. Seat belts, all that shit. And
speed limit.
We get the keys as long as the house is still standing there. You know, we're gonna sleep in a fucking bed tonight.
Yeah,
we're sleeping in a bed with heat,
in Maine, in a place you actually
electricity.
like.
Yeah, a place to like.
Yeah.
That's come on, man.
Now, granted,
you got that bond. That place is heaven. That's the favorite place in the fucking world. So that place was, sacred, and it was like real inspiring to go there.
Yeah.
It was like worth doing all this crazy shit because not only was it, one of my favorite places, my favorite place in the world, like all my friends lived there.
Yeah.
I mean, even in high school, my friends in Maine were actually, I still consider them, I still talk to them.
You used to spend long stretches up there, though.
Yeah, right.
I think I only did that once growing up because usually, for anyone who doesn't know, we're talking about our family cottage. It's been in the family for,
right.
long time, 70s or 80s?
1980.
1980.
We had another place
a
couple of towns from there.
But anyway, my mom would take us up there for like a week at a time, 2 weeks at a time. Only once we went up there and I was like, Mom, I'm just going to stay up here. I spent, I think, the whole month of July up there.
Yeah.
Once.
Right.
And I was like, fuck it. I got nothing to do back home. My friends must have been so confused because I just didn't come back. I must have been like 15, 16, something like that. And I just stayed up there the whole month of July. That was awesome.
I lived there every summer for 3 months. My parents, God bless them, man. They sacrificed and never owned, or for a long time, at least in my lifetime, didn't own a house here, in Massachusetts. Rented so that they could, own and maintain the house, the summer place in Maine, so that,
which was very tiny when they bought it, still is tiny. Even though there was an addition put on it, like a room, like a living room,
we've increased it by 50%. Increased the size by 50%.
And it's still tiny.
Put it in, you
can walk from one end to the other in about 30 seconds.
Right. We'll put a foundation
Think
under
about
it,
that.
a new roof. I mean, me and Karen painted it a few years ago.
Yeah.
I mean,
this will be 39 years coming up for that thing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, I was 5. Wow. Right. So I just gave my age away, didn't I?
Hey. Fuck. But anyway, guys. So that's where they were escaping to.
So yeah, now I got this person that like I'm in love with, and I'm like, and I'm going to.
And you get to show her where you grew up.
Dude, this
is my this is my sanctuary.
Who gets to do that? Mm-hmm. It was so much so I had already, before we planned any of this, I had, when it spoke earlier about morning meditation at the place, we actually did, meditate. A lot of people just sit there with their eyes closed and be uncomfortable, but when you would meditate, they kind of teach you how to meditate, and you want to go to a place. You formulate a place that you can picture every detail about in your mind. That spot with the wooden stairs, that rock there, that was exactly what I would picture.
Wow.
Sitting right there. I know that rock so well. Yeah. I know the exact view.
Yeah, I sit and drink beers on there when I first get up there, and I'm like I haven't jumped back into socializing with everybody yet. I'll crack a beer and I'll just chill there by myself for like a half hour and just reacclimate myself to Maine living.
That would be the first place that I would go by myself. If the lake was still frozen, that would be a spot you could go, without having to go in the water. And I would just picture that, every stone, every grain of sand. And I actually told her about that, So to actually be able to bring her to that exact spot and show it to her.
That is very cinematic.
This is what I was telling you about. This here, right here. And it became her favorite spot.
Yeah.
And we would sit there.
Because she actually got a little preview of it when you guys were in the facility, That's like the dream sequence that starts off the movie. It's like the slow zoom on the rock,
That's some heavy shit.
That's
not a lot of people get to, that's
all I know is that our sequel to The Rock is going to be very different from the first one. I mean, what happened to all of, where's the action? This is a different movie. The Rock Part 2.
Right.
In Maine. It's not Alcatraz.
So here we are, we're leaving all the shit, all the bullshit we had to do to get together and to get out of this place. We made it. We got through it. We had to break the law. We had to do some shady shit, and it was all just every day, every minute, every hour, every minute was just like an experience. It was just like we were like two little kids.
Yeah.
And this was turning into like literally a fucking movie, man. And now here we are. It's February like 16th.
Yeah, you're up in Maine during the cold.
Nobody is there.
No one's there. Yeah,
the lake's frozen. Yeah. I mean, I think Brian would come up now and then on the weekends, and that would be it.
You got the Windstar parked up there.
Yeah,
next to the place.
Next to the on the side you can't see from the road. You gotta go through over that little gulch there. I filled it in so, we get there, and of course the place is freezing cold. I go in, I get the keys, I turn the heat on. There's the stove has the gas heater on the actual cooking stove, and then in the living room, you had another gas heater in the wall. I don't think we ever even used that. We just had a couple of space heaters, and I actually would section the house off
I used to do that
to make it
you hang
most
a blanket
efficient.
in the doorway and you keep the heat in.
Right, so we'd spend the night in the.
That's some poor people shit, folks.
That's it.
That's for when you don't want to run out of oil in your basement.
That's it. That's exactly
you
propane.
Turn up the oil. Yeah, propane. If you got oil, you try to conserve that shit by keeping it on 60 or lower.
Yep.
When you go to bed.
Yep.
And then you hang up a nice thick blanket in the doorway.
Right, you'd segment the house.
Yeah.
You'd sleep, and we slept in the living room. We'd close the actual bedrooms off, so it was less of the house we had to heat. We'd segment the living room, so it was time to sleep and watch television. And, we had a ton of DVDs and old videotapes in the library right downtown.
Yeah.
And when the lake finally thawed out, we'd actually take the canoe.
Yeah.
Across the lake into the library, and
there's your exercise. You get a nice 2 mile paddle across the lake.
They'd let you for free take up to 20 movies at a time, free.
They're like, no one's renting them. Please take
them.
That's awesome.
That was like our source of entertainment. So we're up there, and
Karen definitely didn't see that coming. Like, for what was going to happen after you guys left, she didn't see that within a week you guys would be
in Paris,
in a canoe,
man.
Going to rent movies. Like, must have been an adventure for her.
Listen, when we got there, like you said, the lake's still frozen, right? It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
The field, right? The house is, on a field, and there's a lake slightly to the right, and we're, on a lake, basically in a valley. We're at the base of one mountain, and there's another mountain directly on the other side.
Yeah.
And there's a, large field like the size of a, baseball field in front of us to just frolic in, throw frisbees and play catch and, have the dog chase tennis balls. Just, screw around in. And there was a blanket of snow on the field and literally not one footprint.
Of course not.
Untouched.
Untouched, yeah.
Everything was untouched.
That's the last place you're going to get caught by anybody,
It was literally like Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, no one
in any direction for about a mile.
Yeah.
And because most of the people there are seasonal, and it was just us. It was just us. And we had the entire place to ourselves. We would actually, and Nina and Grampy at the time kept a fucking cache of booze in the closet.
Yeah, they're still there.
And
I hit it once in a while. Like when I run out of beers, I go take a swig of gin because it's always gin down there.
Always gin.
And there's actually there's always a tequila bottle with that much tequila in it.
It's still there.
And I always hit it. I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know how it's still there.
It just replenishes, man. It's just magic.
I've been sneaking sips from that thing since I was 18.
It's just magic. Hilarious. Yeah, there was 2 gallons of gin.
Yeah, gin.
And fucking gin. I never drank gin,
I think it wasn't it was like Beefeater or something like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Tanqueray or anything.
Yeah, it was something crazy. It was like Beefeater, right?
Yeah, which is actually decent.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So we got some juice, I think it was a couple of weeks for the food stamps to kick in, so we were roughing it. We literally for 2 weeks lived off of whatever dry food Nana had left in the place.
Peanut butter and fluff sandwiches.
Peanut butter and fluff, cereal. A lot of oatmeal, cereal, and whatever you could we had $11 left over from the surveys we had done. So, we get some eggs, a couple of those Freihofer's wheat bread.
Yeah.
And we made it.
Might as well go healthy with it.
Right. $200 of food a month, and we just learned how to, just just portion it out for the entire month. Wash dishes with the water that we get out of the gulch up at the top of the road. We fill up a couple of 5-gallon pails, one to fill the toilet with.
Do you ever heat any of it up, like to use?
Always, man. We'd always
just throw it on the stove because we got a gas stove up there, which is awesome.
Absolutely. We'd heat it up. We'd bird bath. Bird bath. I mean, we lived more efficiently with no running water than we probably do now with like all the amenities.
No internet.
It was.
Now did you have cell phones?
No,
you guys were 100% off the grid.
100%.
Yeah.
We had the house phone. There was a phone in the house. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. We did have cell phones.
You did? How do you what?
I had
what
prepaid.
Kind of prepaid. Yeah.
We had one prepaid.
Couple burners.
Couple of burners. That's it. I had one, and then we didn't need it. I think I let it just run out, and I think we grabbed another one like maybe months and months later. I mean, there was no need. We had the house phone. The only ones we were really calling were my parents.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Karen's kind of estranged from her parents.
Now, what's crazy about this is I didn't really know the lead up to. I knew you guys were staying there for a while.
Yeah.
And I actually know what happens from here on, not in detail.
Right.
I know the main bullet points of everything that sort of transpired after.
Right.
Only the ones that you hear oh, Joe and Karen, this happened to them.
Sure, because it gets kind of.
But all the stuff in the middle. That's where, that's what I was really interested in, because I know I'm not going to give it away, because crazier shit happens from here on. Where you two ended up, apart from each other, shit like that.
Yeah.
You guys each had to go on your own little adventures.
We did.
After this whole paradise situation falls apart, and believe me, folks, it does fall apart.
To get most fairy tales.
This is that montage in the movie, the midway point, where the buildup has leveled.
Right.
It's the montage in the middle of the movie where everything is pretty much okay.
It was more than okay. This is the part in the movie where
it's the second act.
Paradise. 8 months. It lasted 8 months.
Yeah, you're toward the end of the second act right here.
Dude, every day was like being a little kid. I'm talking, man, everything was just I've never felt so physically fucking alive. I'm talking from, whatever serotonin, endorphins that your brain releases. I mean, it was all just, firing on full force.
Yeah.
I mean, even, my testosterone must have been up. I'm talking, we were two people that were just so physically, just attracted and meant for each other. I'm talking I felt like I was 16, 17 years old. Again, I would literally, have a fucking boner 4 times a day and make
for
use
no
of it.
reason.
And things that were dude, shit that you'd only see in a movie or imagine. I mean, dude, we literally would have sex outside in the snow on the porch, in boots and nothing else on because nobody was around. And then we'd go running through the field fucking dick nude after and rolling in the snow and shit. We'd get drunk on gin and we dared each other to go down to the lake and go swimming at 3:00 in the morning. Yeah, and while the lake was mostly frozen, and it was so fucking cold out still that we got down there. And there was water earlier in the day, and 5-6 hours later, by the time we were intoxicated, we get down there. Yeah, it's frozen. Then we walk down there with just sweatshirts on, no drawers, and we're walking by Brian's house with the.
He's got cameras.
He's
up
got
there,
the cameras that know are motion detected
too.
So we're walking by, and the motion detectors flip the lights on.
Yeah,
and then there's the camera. So I'm I got shrinkage by with bare ass, running by his cameras, and we get down, and they'll go all right, I'm going in first. I take the boots off and go running to go in the water, and it's clink. It's fucking just ice,
That's fucking great.
Yeah, we go on little adventures through the woods, and
there's where the liquor would be right there.
Yeah, exactly, right
in the
there.
Bottom.
Right,
that's my friend Ronnie wearing Fred's
shirt.
Yeah, and he's wearing Fred's hat too. It's funny, but
I have that hat hanging in my room right now. That's the Red Sox hat.
Yeah, we came in late and everyone was asleep. Nana was asleep and shit, and we were just out in the field drinking beers. And I was like, put this on. That's Fred's. It's my grandfather's.
I sat at that table a night that earlier I had an acid trip where I poured a glass of milk sitting on that table, and the milk went directly through the glass, through the table, and I watched it onto the floor. Swear to God. And from the floor, it started to stew around. Oh my God, that's a tie-up. I still owe the owner money. I worked right up the street and right across the street from there.
So this is where these people were hiding. That's why I'm showing the picture. That's where Joe and...
Yeah. The U.S. Marshals, by the way, we pay taxes on the house in my fucking last name, and I was there for 8 months, and you couldn't find me. By the way, yeah, that was the rub to all this. Technically, while this was all going on, I was on the run from the U.S. Marshals.
That's the other side story.
Yeah, we'll get there. In fact, the website that has my wanted poster from the U.S. Marshals just went down. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
Nice.
And if it fucking appears after this podcasting, I'm gonna be really pissed. So don't you fucking Google me, any of you bastards. We knew that this would come to a head, but we were gonna live it up. We were gonna fucking run with it for as long as we could, and that's what we did. And winter changed to spring, spring changed to summer, and summer was starting to change into fall. And over this course of time, it was literally, if you talk to her, she'll tell you that to this day, and she ever has to go to that meditation place in her head, she goes to that same spot, right there.
The rock.
Right on the lake.
Welcome to the rock.
Right on the narrow end of Crystal Lake. And now she knows every grain of sand and every stone and every detail, every fucking tree before and after, it's grown leaves on it around that whole entire lake. And it was the best time. It was the best time of both of our lives. And not that it ended. I mean, we're still, going strong, but it's a time that we always, fondly look back.
It's a crazy origin story because your relationship.
Absolutely. I mean, it was definitely, it formed the building blocks.
Yeah.
It forms the strongest. Even though this, we had to pay a price. And like everything in life, everything comes with a fucking price.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's just that way. Maybe it's not for some people out there. And, for those people, hey, good for you. Just watch out because, that price is always...
that level of struggle, I mean, forms a pretty solid bond. That's like,
it does.
I forget who was saying it, but that's what it pissed them off about Speed 2. Was that Sandra Bullock and Keanu were no longer together?
Yeah.
After the shit they went through in Speed 1, what the fuck had to have happened for them to no longer be together in the second one?
Yeah, right.
What the fuck? Right. I forget. That was on another podcast.
Yeah, but then didn't they move to that lake and they were in two different dimensions and they were talking to each other through the fucking mailbox?
Oh, that was the other movie, right? What movie was that?
Shitty. Wow, this is like we made a Sandra Bullock reference.
Whoa!
The first podcast.
28 weeks we were talking about last time.
Weird.
I think we might need to change the name of the show.
We're gonna have to put a Sandra Bullock poster in here or something.
Yeah, I gotta get a Sandra Bullock poster now. Shit.
But
anyhow,
Sandra. Yeah, the lake house, wasn't it?
The lake house. Yeah.
Holy
She's
shit.
talking to her dead husband,
and we were living on.
That's Keanu. She's talking.
Keanu.
Yeah. And after she gets out of rehab, after 28 weeks.
And we're talking about living at the lake.
Because the events of Speed traumatized her to the point where she started using heavily. And that's why Keanu...
She ended up in rehab.
Keanu overdosed.
Right.
And when she gets out of rehab 28 weeks later, she gets a lake house.
And the zombies came 28 weeks.
And then she fights to hide from the zombies and communicate with her dead Keanu Reeves. Anyway.
Cool.
Yeah, little sidetrack there.
So, yeah, man. So we both ended up getting jobs. Coming into spring, we were both working on the books, which is even fucking stranger because here I am paying taxes. I mean, it's easier to find me, and that didn't happen. But we're becoming citizens. I mean, everybody thinks that at the time, and I apologize to everybody up there that we lied to, but I'm sure once you hear this and what you all know now,
yeah,
you understand why we couldn't tell any of you that we love and care about, the real truth. And that's something, I still feel really fucking horrible about.
Yeah.
But, everybody just thought we were like these minivan driving, because by the way, we kept the minivan for like 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were driving around in that minivan. I think like if you steal a car and you're able to keep it for, like you have it 6 months without getting caught, like it should be yours.
It becomes yours.
Yeah, it should be yours. It should be like squatting.
Dude, you did it.
Yeah, like it's like squatters' rights or something.
Yeah.
No.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Listen, I've had cars stolen from me. Don't get upset. Anybody out there that's like, "Fuck you, you asshole!" Your insurance
You don't know
rates
what
are
it's
up
like.
because of cocksuckers like you. Don't. I've had fucking plenty of cars stolen from me. So, and I wouldn't begrudge anybody if they could end up with a relationship like the one that I have right now. You could gladly steal my fucking car at any time. Good luck to you. So, here we are. Best time of our lives, man. And now as spring starts to come about, Memorial's like, reminiscent of right now, it's Memorial Day weekend, and here started, the neighbors started coming back. It seems like ice out, what they call ice out in Maine is when the lakes thaw out. And there's a quick running of what they call smelt, all these little fish.
Yeah.
And they run, and there's a little creek off of our lake. And, like all the neighbors come down for a couple of nights to get away from their wives. They grab a couple of cases of beer and they hip wade in the rivers and they fucking catch these smelt because they're good bait for fishing later on. And, we watched that happen, and it seems like within, fucking no time after that, here's everybody, all our neighbors, all the people that we love show up.
Yeah.
And like the way that they embraced Karen and I as, just the friendships and that summer and hanging out at Brian's, the bonfires and, and all the older folks, like all our friends, all my friends' parents are now like everybody's out of the house and having kids of their own. And it was so fucking crazy because, all these older folks, they're like coming up and they're like, Joe, when they get grass, they're all fucking smoking bud now.
Yeah, they do.
And they
weird.
all do.
It's weird.
They all do. Like all these people that,
I get it offered to me by people who used to like scold me and shit.
They used to chase us around when I was a kid. Me and my
I'm
friends
always like, no thanks.
Yeah, I'm all set. I don't even smoke, man. And they're like, fuck, you don't smoke? And they're looking at me like I'm some fucking straight edge geek. Meanwhile, so like that was going on. And we ended up, the one of the more important points of this all was over the course of this time, Karen and I, we became pregnant, and
big point in the story.
It's a giant point. It was kind of unbeknownst to us, and it came at like a big surprise, and it really fucking cranked the odds and the dimensions of this situation. It wasn't.
It's a pretty big halt to the.
It wasn't the most, ideal time for this to happen. It was something that we definitely wanted. It wouldn't necessarily have been the time that we would have chosen.
Yeah.
We wanted to kind of like get our houses in order.
Hiding from the law in a cabin in Maine is not necessarily the best time to start a family.
Right, exactly.
And
but things happen, and things happen for reasons, and I still firmly believe that, and that's not an easy thing for me to hang with, because not long after that, there's some details surrounding, what was about to happen next that I'm not going to get into, because they're not necessarily that important.
Yeah.
But the meat of the matter is that we were foolishly tempting fate, and we were we had to run down to Boston real quick and come back. We had rented a house. We rented a house while my parents were, at their summer home for the summer. I'm not gonna like infringe upon their what they've worked for their whole life. So we rented a kind of a cool place, and then when they were ready to go back to Florida for the winter, because there's they were snowbirds, My mom still is. We were, you know, going to move to save money. We were going to move back to the place and stay in Maine and, you know, and have our life up there. And not just, God, if we just didn't have, you know, the legal shit hanging over our heads, this would have been ideal. But the origin of what led me to be, you know, on the run happened in the great Granite State of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
If anybody knows anything about New Hampshire.
So the reason you were on the run from the law in the first place, the reason you had the warrant,
it originated.
It started
in New Hampshire. It had now become this thing. I found out that the U.S. Marshals had posted a fucking wanted poster on the internet. So if you Googled my name, up came, you know, wanted by the U.S. Marshals with my mugshot and all these, essentially like lies, like literally lies. I, you know, it's known to have done this and that, and you know. I've never had a violent crime ever in my life. I've never, you know, been a violent person. I've never had, you know, many of these things that they said. I think it's just a standard script that they put under everybody's picture.
They want people to know you're a criminal, and they just basically have a go-to description.
Right, and it really sucks because, you know, that thing hung around for like the following fucking 8 years.
Yeah, I even Googled it. I saw it.
Yeah, and it, you know, it made it getting a job crazy. Like almost impossible.
I know.
But whatever, that's neither here nor there now. But you know, on the way back, we got a flat tire.
Back up to Maine.
The 11 minutes that you're in New Hampshire between Massachusetts and Maine, the fucking van gets flat in New Hampshire.
So right as you were kind of getting a new car, setting up this new thing with, you know, the place you were renting, you had to go to Boston to make an errand of some kind, and then on the way back up to Maine, you get a flat in New Hampshire.
Get a flat in New Hampshire, and you know, in the process of changing it, and you know, about a quarter mile up the road were a couple of stadies, you know, sitting on the lawn of the median, one facing north, one facing south, and just to be, you know, like, Officer Good Guy, one came down and pulled it behind us to check and see if we were okay.
It's been so nerve-wracking.
And I'm fucking starting to sweat, you know, and shake a little bit. And I got the tailgate of the van up, so
the license plate isn't showing.
The plate, which we had changed by this point because the original plates that were on the van, which we kept on the whole time, they had just expired.
So you had to get something.
While we were in Mass, we actually grabbed a new set of plates that didn't coincide with our vehicle. So I mean, as soon as they were run, that's it. It was game over. We were hoping that, you know, things would look cool and the cop would go on his way, seeing that, you know,
you got it under control.
Well. Unfortunately, he stayed there. You know, after the flat was changed, and as soon as we started to roll away,
you off.
You know,
he knew why he was waiting.
I think so,
because he just wanted to double check.
He could see that I was fucking nervous, and you know, those guys have like a sixth sense for those things, and you know, let's face it, I was, you know, fucking guilty as fuck, and I knew it. And you know, it was just like the worst of circumstances. By this time, Karen was like in a, you know, 4 months pregnant, and
she was with you, right?
She was with me, yeah. She was with me, and when I put the spare on, and I started to pull off, you know. Now I knew the chance this guy's gonna run the plate, but the spare tire, actually started to go flat, and you know, I had to pull back off right away instead of being able to get the fuck. If it had stayed, I might have been able to make it out of the state in like another 3 fucking miles, and this guy just would have gone on his way.
Yeah.
But the fact that we looked a little bit, you know, sketchy, I was starting to sweat profusely, although it was still the end of summer. I mean, you know, rightfully so. I'm changing a fucking tire.
Another flat causes you to.
Yeah. So I pull off that exit, and sure enough, the lights go on behind us, and we knew it was up. Yeah. Right there, you know, within a second, within a fucking second.
You had a little bit of time to look at each other in the car and be
That's
like,
it.
This is it.
It's it. We kissed, you know, we hugged, we said goodbye. And we had a little bit longer because they actually put us in the same, back of the same cruiser.
Yeah.
And they, they drove us off, and with what we both had, we both
Had, time coming.
We both had time coming.
Yeah.
Neither of us knew how much, but it was probably going to be, something.
A couple months at least.
Yeah. So, there we are sitting in Rockingham County Jail, and she's in one cell and the other, and we're just looking at each other, waiting to get booked. And they brought her off first to another jail in the area that has like a women's facility.
Yeah.
And I ended up upstairs, and last time I saw her, she just looking over her shoulder at me, waving goodbye.
Damn.
And when that happened, we we ended up being away from each other for about a year and a half.
Damn.
I got a year. I had a little time going further up in New Hampshire from the original charge in Laconia, and then of course for the new charge with the van.
Oh yeah, that's right. You guys had the stolen. That's an extra charge.
They only charge us with receiving stolen property, not grand theft auto.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Thank Christ.
And I got a year carrying. Was incarcerated until actually, they were gonna. The state of New Hampshire decided they didn't want to incur the cost of her giving birth. So knowing that she was due in about another month and a half, they were about to spring her loose. And literally the night before, like 6 hours before she goes into labor, a month and a half or so premature.
So she had to give birth.
And it's January by now. We got locked up in September.
In jail?
And now she's...
And they have like an infirmary, right?
No, they brought us to the hospital.
Oh, okay.
They brought her a very good hospital, actually.
This ain't 1950.
But she had to give birth to our daughter, technically in custody.
Wow.
I wasn't there. I couldn't be there. She didn't have anybody there. She had a CO. She had a correctional officer there with her. And she had a really easy, very easy delivery. Yeah, she wasn't really in labor for very long. That was how our baby girl came into the world.
And that's crazy that you kind of like hit this point, because this is like when I was like talking earlier about how like, oh yeah, this paradise ends at some point, and many more crazy shit like, points happen after. I mean, I think we could probably cap it here and continue,
Yeah, that's cool. It's still, it gets to be, it gets a little heavier still.
Yeah, I know that.
Before it gets lighter.
Yeah.
But, I just would like to make a short disclaimer. I don't know who's gonna, hopefully, people check this out. It becomes a thing. That would be great. That's our intent. But fucking internet's a wild place, and once this is out there, it's out there.
It's true.
So I feel, I do need to say, because you don't know who's gonna see this, but there is one person, that if you do ever see this, it will be the first time that you hear me speak. And I'll explain why another time, but that's you. That's you, little girl. Because we haven't met yet. And like any of my stories, things aren't simple. Yeah. Nothing's ever simple, All of the stories that hopefully you'll hear me tell. And hopefully there's a lot more. They're all, full of details and ups and downs and complications, and nothing's ever been simple in my life. And this is definitely, no different. And just please know there are reasons.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more in the world that I want, than to see you, than to know you, and you know me. And please, just know, and this is personal. Sorry to get all mushy and this up. I like to fuck around and talk and all, but
no, man, you gotta say what you gotta say.
I just want you to know you're loved. You're loved very much and wanted very much. And it's been that way since the first second that I knew you existed. And on that note, hopefully you'll get to know that your dad isn't the type of guy that's gonna, I don't want to bring the party down.
Hell no, man.
It's never been me. But
not at all.
I love you, kid.
Good job, dog.
My man. Love you too, kid.
Yeah, man, you helped raise me. What about me?
I did, man. I fucking did. Hey, that's another story we're gonna get into.
Seriously.
I remember the first fucking day we found about this cat coming into the world. I got a story and a half while you were being born.
All right, I gotta write that one down.
Yeah.
Birdo.
Yes, there is a story that goes with that.
Story.
Mm-hmm.
All right, people.
All right, folks.
I don't know if the cameras are still recording. I know they cut off at some point, but
I hope so. If not, the mics probably still are, and I love all you people too.
Hell yeah, we love you. All right, Sunday with Buds. We'll see you next time.
All right.
And Joe will be back. Maybe we'll have some episodes with other guests in between, but this epic tale will continue.
I'll be back, and I will still be keto fabulous.
And it might not conclude for several more episodes. I hope not, because it's pretty epic at this point. Anyway.
Epic.
Like, subscribe, do all that shit. Sunday with Buds.
Subscribe, please.
Yeah. www.sundaywithbuds.com.
Get us them YouTube stacks, like Lil Tay.
Yeah, man, I want to get paid. I want monetization. All right. Later, people.
Peace.